Hey everybody, it's Dr. V. Glad to be with you, and this video is going to be an introduction to the course, how the course is set up, and just a general orientation to the course. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to go over here and grab my computer screen here so I can share with you how to get into your course. So one of the ways that you can get into the course is by going to the LTC website, which is simply this website here. Go to ltc.edu, which you should be familiar with. And then what you can do is you can just click over here on current students. When you click on that, you're going to see over here the top link says technology and logins. You just click on that, and then that should take you to the LTC Blackboard login, which you see right here. You click on that, it's going to take you to the login page. Now, as you can see, I already have an account here. I'm about to log in. But if you don't know your login information, over here on the right, it'll tell you your login information. Your username is your 8-digit LTC student ID number, and your password is the last 4 digits of your social security number if you've never been on before. If you forgot your password, you can click on this link here. And finally, if none of that's working and you need further assistance, you can go ahead and dial this toll-free number here 24/7, and someone will be able to help you. All right, so once you get all that squared away, you just click on login. And now what I'm going to see is a little bit different from what you see, because I have a ton of more courses than you do. But what you're going to look for is your advanced A&P course. Right now it says not currently available because I haven't unlocked it yet, but that's because I want to record this video, show you around first before people start going into the class and looking around. So what you're going to do is simply click on the link to the course that you want to go into, and you may be brought to an announcements page. Now let me go into the student preview, because that might work a little bit better to give you an idea of what you're going to see. So when you get into the class, it'll be bringing you to the announcements page. The announcements page will take you to, or just give you general information. This welcome will always be there, but I might have new announcements that show up. And so when you come to the announcements page, just make sure that there's nothing new here, so that way you can make sure that you're up to date on everything. Okay, over here on the left side of the screen is the navigation bar, I guess you would call it. And I'm just going to go from the top down here and just kind of show you what is available in the course and what you're going to be doing. So we're already in the announcements. So over here, your course schedule and syllabus, this is pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. We have a course schedule and you have a course syllabus. If you click on the schedule, it'll take you to a Google Doc of the course schedule. Now, because we're in a summer term, it's shorter. It's only 10 weeks instead of 15 weeks. And so rather than giving you specific dates that we're going to be covering certain learning plans, what you're going to see is that basically you just have a checklist of things that you want to make sure that you complete. Now, I want to bring your attention to a couple things here. If you've had me before, this should be no surprise to you, but if you are new to me as an instructor, some things that you might want to take a look at here. Just make sure that you keep track of your assignments and the exams you've completed so you don't get a 0 for them. And I have due dates set for the first half of the learning plans and then the second half of the learning plan. So please make note of what you're reading right here, is that all your course assignments and exams for learning plans 1 through 7 are due by the end of the day, July 3rd. So before you head off for the 4th of July, make sure you have everything in from learning plans 1 to 7, because after that they're going to get locked out and you can't go back and you can't complete them. And if you don't complete them, they're going to be 0s and they're going to count against you. The reason why I do this is because I don't want people procrastinating, that you get to the last 2 weeks of a 10-week summer class and you have more than half the class work to do, which, believe it or not, has happened in the past, and students rarely do succeed in those situations. So I want to put you in a position where you succeed. So the first half of your learning plans, please get those in by the end of the day, July 3rd. And then, even though the summer term ends on Friday, August 14th, I like to give a little bit of wiggle room in case there's something unexpected that happens or just something out of the ordinary. So I would like all remaining learning plan assignments and exams to be turned in by the end of the day, Thursday, August 13th. Now, I do have what I call cumulative exams. I know cumulative means that it's usually at the end of the semester and it's everything. But what I mean by cumulative is I'm trying to make sure that you are learning along the way. So I have 4 different tests that I give you throughout the summer that are going to cover larger chunks of information to get you to recall what you did. So so what I want you to do first of all is just pay attention here and notice that one of them is due by the end of the day, June 19th. One's due the end of the day, July 3rd. One's due end of the day, July 24th. And then finally we have that 4th one due on the 13th of August. And as you go through here, you'll see these big green notifications here saying we have a cumulative exam covering learning plans 1 through 3. Due by the end of the day, June 19th. And I'll get back into these in just a little bit when we go through the actual course in Blackboard, but just want to direct your attention to those. So when you look at this schedule, it's a checklist. So what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you're going to have lecture notes with each learning plan, which I'll show you. You want to watch the video, and then you're going to see that you have an attendance assignment, you have a quiz, you have a participation, a lab assignment, and then you have an exam for each one of these, okay? For each one of these learning plans. Some learning plans, in a typical 15-week semester, we take 2 weeks to cover the information. That's why you see here that there are 2 quizzes and 2 participations and 2 attendance verifications, because if you watch the videos, you're going to see that they're split up into 2 different videos, 2 different weeks. Remember that we're working on a compressed schedule this summer, so some of this is going to come at you more quickly. So basically, treat this as a checklist. Go through here, make sure you're aware of everything that has to be done and when it has to be done, and don't procrastinate. I shouldn't say don't procrastinate, because then that means you will, right? So make sure you stay on top of this information and make sure you work diligently throughout and pace yourself. If you're the type of person, I always tell this to my students, if you're the type of person who things seem to come up, bad things seem to come up, unfortunate things seem to come up at the most inopportune time, then this is my word of advice to you. Make sure you stay ahead of the schedule. Make sure you stay on top of things and move more quickly, so that way if something does come up, you have wiggle room, you have time, because I'm giving you all of this right away at the beginning of the summer term here, and I will not extend you. I will not be extending anybody. So if you don't get your work done by the end of the summer term, then whatever you submit to me by then is what you submit to me by then. Especially this summer, because I will be leaving. I will be going out of the state. I will be gone. I will not be online. I will not be on my computer. I'm not doing anything related to anything LTC starting August 15th. I'm going to be in a vehicle driving across the country, and I will not be back until right before the fall semester. So make sure you have everything done, everything completed. If there's anything that requires a heads up earlier than later, it would be a good time to let me know. All right? So that's the schedule. We have the syllabus. Syllabus, basically, if you don't know what a syllabus is, most of you probably do, but the syllabus is just basically the set of guidelines that tells you what we're covering, sets the parameters for the course, and lets you know kind of like the boundaries, what's acceptable, what's not, and it basically ensures that I treat all students fairly and equally, and it ensures that you are following the general recommendations and practices of the course. So that's the course and this course schedule and the syllabus. You have access to those at any time. Here in the introductory items and course tutorial, That's basically what this is what you're watching right now, this course introductory video. So you can watch that, link through that right here. Also, I would like you to read this welcome letter from me to you, because it kind of talks a little bit about this course and what to expect. So make sure you just check that out too. Finally, we have this link here on the left, which is your course assignments and learning plans. This is where you'll be spending most of your time in this class. Oops, there's no content display. Got to exit the preview here. Hold on a second here. Okay, let's try that again. So when you come over here to your course assignments, learning plans, you're going to see a folder here. You click on that folder. As you can see here, it says it's going to be your one-stop shop. You're going to find everything you need for your coursework. I got to change it because it says with the exception of your course exam. That's not true. Let me fix that right here on the fly while I'm talking to you. How about that? Oh. All right. Here we go. Fixed it. All right, so let's open that up and expand again. Okay, so this is your one-stop shop. You find everything. So you're going to find your learning plan assignments. You're going to find your exams, everything. So when you click on here, you're going to see all the learning plans are here. And the cumulative exams are listed within as well. So when you click on Learning Plan 1, for example, what you're going to see right at the top the exam. But don't start with the exam because you got to do the other work beforehand. I provide you with lecture notes. So you click here on the lecture notes, and you're going to see that I have basically an outline format of the notes. This is what I follow for the most part when I'm going through my lectures on the lecture videos. And you can see that in the notes, I have headings. I give you pages and figures and tables so you can follow along. Even within the notes itself gives you a list of the pages. So provided that you're on the more recent edition of the book, and I can't remember which edition that is now, but it's the, let's see here, Marib Anatomy. It's the 10th edition. Let's see what we got. This one right here, Human Anatomy and Physiology. So if you have this book right here, then you should be right on with those page numbers. So these page numbers that I'm referencing here, if you have this book, you'll be good to go. You're right on. All right. So that's the book that will give you the accurate page numbers. All right. So those are the lecture notes. Then we have what I call the binder documents. The binder documents are some documents that I created to help you prepare for your cumulative exams, and they're open-ended questions that pertain to the stuff we covered. So it's a good idea to answer these questions. They're not required, they're not mandatory, but my students have found that if you, or at least maybe you have found taking a class with me before, that when you do these binder documents, it helps you prepare for those cumulative exams. So those are the binder documents. Here's the lecture video. So if you click on this, it's going to take you to a link on YouTube that will show you the video, and so you can go ahead and watch the videos there. I also embed other videos that I think pertain to what we're going to be covering. All right, so for example, if I have a link, just go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to the links that might be interesting to you. But now down here we have your assignments. I want to spend a little bit of time going through these assignments. You can see you have a quiz, you have a participation, you have attendance, and then you have a lab assignment. So when you click on the quiz, it's going to give you a little bit of an introduction. It's going to tell you that you can save this test, and you can, well, it's a quiz, but they call these all tests. This can be saved and resumed later, and allows multiple attempts, meaning that you can take this as many times as you want. So when you click on begin over here, it's going to bring you to the first quiz. Now it's going to scramble these questions every time, so you're not going to see the same order of questions every time you go in to take this. But you just go ahead and you answer these questions, and I'm just clicking away to kind of show you this. You can see that over here it tells you how many points you have, and as you go along it's going to save it automatically. You don't have to hit save answer if you don't want to, because the system will let you know. All right. That's odd. I have a question in there that just says just skip this question. I'm not sure why that's in there, but anyway, just follow the instructions. All right, so I'm just gonna go in here and I'm clicking away. When you're done, you'll be at the end. You just click save and submit. Okay, because I didn't answer all the questions, it's telling me that there's some questions I didn't answer, but that's fine. After you submit the test or any of these assignments, it's going to tell you who you were, what you just submitted, what course it's for, when you started it, when you finished, how much time it took, and it says click OK to view results. And you're looking at this and you're like, well, where's OK? You got to scroll down. There it is. It's over here. So you click on OK, and it's going to allow you to review. It's going to tell you whether you got the question incorrect or correct. All right. Now, this is the answer that I picked. These are the available answers. Okay. But I know that this answer is not correct. See, it tells me that. So the answer must be one of these three others. All right. Here, this was the correct answer. And I got that one right. Okay, so it's not going to tell you what the correct answer is, but it's a great learning tool because it tells you which one wasn't correct. It tells you what you got right, what you got wrong, but it also will tell you what questions what the correct answer, what the answer was that you gave, so that way you can go back and you can review and learn. And that's the idea. I want you to go through these, and I want you to learn from your mistakes on the front end. I want you to work out all those kinks, all those mistakes, learn your information up front, because then when you take your test, you're prepared. All right? So that is an example of a quiz. Let me just go back here so I can show you the other one. So the quiz is that way, the participation is that way. The attendance assignment is a little bit different. So if you click on the attendance assignment, what you're going to see is when you click begin, this is going to have blanks. Attendance term 1, 2, 3. And that's because during the lectures, the lecture videos, I will give you these attendance terms and you just type them in. And then you submit it. Again, you click OK. And it's going to tell you that these were wrong because they are not the correct terms, obviously. Now, let's say that you got 0. You're like, I don't like 0. Well, you can go back and you can take it again. That's fine. And it's going to record your highest grade as your official grade. So if you take it 5 times, and the 5th time you take it as the highest score, then that's your score. If you take it 5 times, and the 3rd time you took it was the highest score, the highest score will be the score that records. So again, here I just finished the attendance assignment. I can go back. I can take it again, right? So with your quizzes, your participation, your attendance assignment, and your lab assignment, you can take those as many times as you want. Now, this lab assignment, I'm glad we have this here because I'm going to show you these lab assignments because students kind of get confused. Okay, so in a face-to-face lab, I would say, okay, we have lab on such and such date at such and such time. You'd come, and I'd have an experiment for you to do. And then I say, okay, when you're done with this experiment, I want you to complete this lab assignment worksheet. Okay, and then I'm going to ask you questions based on the data you got from the experiment. So much the same, I have some interactive lab assignments for you to do. So the first thing you want to do, step number 1, is download and open lab instruction worksheet. So you click on this, and it's going to take you to a PDF, which is Adobe Acrobat format. And this gives you information on the experiment and has pictures and, more importantly, an introduction to what's going to be going on, what you're looking at, and you're also going to see the activity. Now, what you need to do is you need to follow these steps. It's going to tell you, use the mouse, you click and drag the normal rad into the chamber placed on top of the scale. You have to follow these instructions. And then as you do that, you want to make sure that you're recording the information, just like you would in a lab, in a virtual lab. And then, once you've done that, you have collected all this information, then you're ready for the next thing. Okay, so we've got that. Now, so you've got your sheet, okay? But now we have to get into it. So what you do is I have a video, watch that video. You click on this, it'll give you a little video window that opens up, and it's going to take you through the video. You can watch that, okay? But then here are the lab experiments. So if you click here on metabolism, you see how it opens up? It looks just like that picture we saw on your handout. See, and then you can play with the rats, you can move around. But you gotta, if you start coming in here and start clicking around, you're like you don't know what you're doing, then you're getting confused. Now I just injected the rat. Oh, okay. See, it's telling me to do this stuff. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you follow the instructions, so you don't have to do rework. All right. So follow it step by step. The lab worksheet tells you exactly what to do. So you're going to do this experiment, this one, this one, this one, this one. Once you've got all of them done, there's even a review sheet you can do. Once you finish that, then click on your lab assignment here, and then you're going to see that your lab assignment asks you questions based on the data you collected. So here you see, how did the metabolic rate of the thyroidectomized rat with TSH compare to its baseline metabolic rate? Okay, you wouldn't be able to answer this until you completed the experiments and wrote down the data. Okay. And then it's asking you for a diagnosis, and it's telling you to refer to this activity. So make sure that you are completing that, and then you'll get through this no problem. All right. So once you've done all of this, you did your quiz, you did your participation, you did your attendance, and your lab assignment, you're good to go. Now, notice that some lab assignments, like these virtual lab assignments, are not going to end up on your exam, and you're thinking, well, what do you mean they're not going to end up on my exam? Well, for those of you who haven't had me before, when you take your exam basically is a collection of all the questions from your quiz, your participation, and your lab assignment, for the most part, that all get put together, and the computer's going to randomly select 40 of those questions that you already saw. So if you think about this, and you think about it a little deeper, you'll realize that the exam is no surprise. That if you did your assignments and you worked on your assignments and you learned from your mistakes, then you should have all the information you'll need to complete and be successful on the exam. And so when you go in here and you click on the exam now, you're going to see that it's the same questions that you had before. These are all questions that you would have seen from your assignments. Just picked 40 of them. And so if you did all your work, you should be good to go. All right? Now, a couple things. It said that it has multiple attempts. You can only take these exams twice. You can only try them twice. So I used to have it open unlimited, but that's when you had to go to a testing center and take your tests. Now I have it down to 2. If you want to take it, let's say you take it twice and you get an F on both times and that's not satisfactory to you, that's fine. Drop me an email and say, hey, Dr. V, I took my learning plan 1 test twice, failed it twice. I want to take it again to get a better grade. Would you mind reopening that for me? And I can do that for you. The reason why I put the stop at 2 is because if you're taking it more than 2 times, I want to have a dialogue with you and find out what's going on and why you're struggling and why you're not doing well. And then we can talk, and then we can go ahead and get you on your way. All right, so these exams, the learning plan exams, you can take a maximum of 2 times. Whichever is the highest grade of the 2 attempts is your official grade. All right, so that's how these learning plans are set up, and you can see that you've got them all here. You've got, oops, let me just go back out of here. Holy moly. Okay, so we're back at the learning plans folder, and you can see that we have all these different folders here, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. All right, one thing with the videos that I want to show you, which may help you. Let me just pause this here so it doesn't keep, so you don't hear me at the same time I'm talking. But anyway, when you go here onto YouTube, there's this little gearbox right here. Okay, now this is if you're on a PC, maybe on a Google platform like an Android, but I know that this doesn't work on Apple. So like iPad, iPhone, you don't have this little gearbox. But if you click on this gearbox, you have a couple options here. The quality doesn't really matter. The quality, you can leave at 480p and you'll see everything you need to see. Because the camera I use isn't a high definition camera anyway for me, and the PowerPoints come through really clearly. But here, the speed setting, what you can do is you can click it, and I'm not a fast speaker, so you can click on the 1.5, and then what it'll do is it'll play the lecture back 1.5 times faster. So if you want to compress your learning time, use that, and then when you listen, you can see that I'm talking a lot faster, so you can watch this 2-hour and 20-minute video in less time. So that's a little trick that you can use when you're watching these videos. If you want to do full screen so you're not distracted by the other things, you can certainly do that too. All right, so that's it. That's just a little thing that might help you with watching your videos. So that's the course assignments learning plans link. Now I want to show you one other thing on here because it's pretty important. These cumulative exams. Please note that you only get 1 attempt on these cumulative exams. So don't click on it. If you click here and you click begin and you say, well, I just want to see it, that's your attempt. Okay, so please do not click begin until you are absolutely ready to take the exam. Okay? If you run into problems, if the network goes out or whatever, you need to let me know right away and we can talk about it. But these cumulative exams, you only get 1 shot and they will disappear. So after Friday, June 19th, this will be gone. You will not see it anymore. You will not have any more attempts at it. These cumulative exams collectively are worth 30% of your grade, so don't miss any of these because they'll have a major effect and impact on your grade. All right, so that is the meat and potatoes of the course. Just a couple other things for you to take a look at. There is a My Grades link, and if I click on that, let me go into the student mode, because if I go into my mode, it's going to look so different from yours. But if you click on My Grades here, you're going to see that you have at all times a grade here, an overall grade for you. You're going to see a total grade, but that doesn't really matter because that's just telling you how many points you've earned out of how many points available. But because it's weighted, it doesn't really matter. So this total and where it says total here doesn't really matter. It's the weighted total you want to look at. But then here you can see your individual grades for these individual assignments. And I believe it's not filled in here, but I believe if you click on these grades here, it will then show you the summary. So let's say you took the quiz and your computer is shut off or something like that, and you didn't get a chance to review what questions were right or wrong. You can click on your score, and then it will give you the opportunity to review your attempts there. So that's the grades area. The discussion board is another area that I want you to just take a look at very quickly here. The discussion board is something that you can post something on here. So if you have a question, just click here where it's blue, class questions and answers, and then you just click on to create thread. One thing I'm going to do is do this, click on the subscribe button, so that way you'll get an email every time someone adds something to the discussion board. But if you want to create a thread, you just say here, okay, say question, and then I have a question, and then go ahead and click on submit, and then it'll submit it. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I don't need to do that. The other thing is email. Let me go back to my student preview so it looks like what you have. If you want to send an email to me, you would click here on all instructor users, and you're going to be sending me then it's just like an email. Put your subject in here, type in your email or your whatever message you have, and click submit, and then it will send one to my, you can see it's going to send it to my LTC email. Now I will be communicating with you by email as well. So there are times when you're going to get emails, so make sure you're checking your LTC email. If you don't know how to check your LTC email, then I'm wondering how you got this, because the only way that you'd be looking at this video is if you were in your LTC email, which then you would have heard that the course is open and available and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's an introduction to the course. It's an introduction to Blackboard. Everything's pretty straightforward here. Make sure that you go back into here in the introductory items and make sure you read that welcome letter that I have for you, because that's a very important letter for you to follow or to just reference, because it does have some important information in here, a little bit about how the class is set up. So make sure that you read that, okay? And I don't think there's anything else. So if you have any questions for me, if you're looking at this and you have a question about the course in general and how it's set up, please use the discussion board, okay? What I don't want is, Dr. V, I have a question about the exams. You say we can only take the exam twice. Is that true? Put that on the discussion board, please, because someone else might have that same question. Instead of me answering the same questions 5 times each, I can answer it once on the discussion board and people will see the question and the answer, okay? If you have something that relates to you personally, Dr. V, I'm pregnant and I'm going to have a child in the middle of the summer. Can we work something out? That's something you do by email. But otherwise, everything else, please do it through the discussion board, because that makes the communication that much more efficient and effective. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, hit me up on the discussion board. Otherwise, good luck this summer, and we'll be in touch. Take care. Bye.